I had my hood on. My hair's a little cold.
It's cold in this house.
It almost looked like you got one of those pimple things on.
I do.
All right. No, we didn't have an episode last week. Life got busy,
Yeah.
as it does occasionally. It happens. What are we going to do?
We have birthdays.
Yep. That's fine. So we were going to do the... No, I guess I won't even say it. We'll just let stuff happen.
It's a surprise.
Yeah. Unless we talked about it in the previous episode, which we probably did.
Most likely.
Oh well. You're Phoenix, I'm Will, and we're here to bring on the questions.
You can find all the places we're on at linktree.com/POTQS.
Yep. Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Podbean.
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout?
Are we on that?
Yep, probably. The links are there for the peoples and the visuals.
TikTok, Insta, YouTube.
Yep. There you go. There you go. All right. May as well just hop into it, eh?
Yeah.
So, Miss Phoenix, what question are we bringing in this episode?
Are you superstitious?
No, but I am a little stitious.
Me too.
Just a little? You avoid certain things, though? Like, walking under a ladder. You actively avoid that?
I don't really pay attention to it.
There's not a lot of ladders in your life that you can have the opportunity to walk under.
Yeah. So there's no reason I am walking under ladders. So.
You don't purposefully smash mirrors.
No, I don't, because that's just dumb.
And then it's a mess.
And it would hurt.
Yeah, and it's a mess. There's a weird thing I do pretty often. I don't know if it's really superstition or if it's just... I guess some of this stuff is just safety, possibly. But I avoid walking directly on, like, storm drains. The grates of storm drains, or anywhere there's... The only thing between me and a hole is some sort of slight framework. But you have those in cities. When you're walking down the streets of cities, they're just doors on the sidewalk. I'm not walking on those.
There was a lot of those in New York City.
Yeah. I don't walk on top of those. No. Sewer grates, manholes. I don't know. I don't know if that's a specific superstition or if it's just like one of my slight OCD things that I just totally avoid those because what if?
There's always the what ifs.
Mm-hmm. There's
one that we definitely do not follow, and that is the black cat.
Yeah, we got some of them in our house. Some of them.
What about 3?
Yeah,
4?
4. Yep. Well, maybe we'll get into an episode exactly about the black cat thing.
You've probably seen one of our black cats walking in and out.
Possibly.
In and out.
Well, when the curtain moves.
That's one of our cats.
We avoid talking about that on audio because it happens so often. But let's get into it. The phenomenon of superstition represents one of the most enduring characteristics of the human cognitive landscape, functioning as a bridge between the rational pursuit of causality and the psychological necessity for agency in an unpredictable environment. At its core, superstition... Am I boring you?
I'm just tired.
At its core, superstition is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as a widely held but irrational belief in supernatural influences, particularly those associated with the governance of good or bad luck. However, to the researcher in cognitive linguistics or social anthropology, the term carries far more weight than a mere dismissal of false beliefs. It is a linguistic and archaeological fossil record of how humanity has historically negotiated its relationship with the unknown.
The linguistic trajectory of the word superstition provides an essential framework for understanding how Western society has historically categorized the other in terms of belief systems. The English term finds its ancestor in the Latin superstitionem,
Sounds good to me.
nominative superstitio.
Stitio. I think it's
Stitio?
superstitio because it's Latin.
Yeah.
Stitio? Something like that.
Probably. It's,
Because Latin.
yeah, Latin. Which is a compound of the prefix super, meaning above, beyond, or in addition to, and the verb stare, meaning to stand. The literal translation, standing over, has puzzled etymologists for centuries, leading to several competing theories regarding the semantic
Mhm.
shift from physical placement to irrational belief.
Mhm. One of the earliest and most influential theories was proposed by the Roman statesman and philosopher Cicero. In his work De Natura Deorum, Cicero argued that the term superstitiosi described those who spent entire days in prayer and sacrifice so that their children might survive them, or literally be survivors. Superstitis? While modern linguists like those of the Oxford English Dictionary often classify this as folk etymology, it highlights the early Roman association between excessive religious ritual and the desperate human desire to influence life and death outcomes. So it's something like, I wonder if they went into prayer, like if they didn't do it, they think something would happen to their children. Just like it's a superstition for a lot of sports ball teams to hit whatever like thing or frame or doorway that they go through before they hit the court, arena, stadium, what have you. They just hit the thing, tap
Good
the
luck measures.
thing in there. Superstition, man. It's only weird if it doesn't work. Cheeseheads for the Green Bay Packers. If you don't wear your cheesehead, they're definitely going to lose. Boring, huh?
No.
Awful.
It's just late.
Late.
I don't know.
6:30 in the p.m.
It feels like because we ate dinner at 5 o'clock.
It's rare. We normally eat dinner at 8:30 or whatever.
Yeah, we've been eating dinner early. But anyways, a separate etymological. I don't know why that word feels so weird to me.
Because it feels like it needs to have an N in there and it doesn't. Just etymological.
A separate etymological thread suggests a more triumphant origin. The related adjective superstitious.
Yep. Yep. I'm not even going to try. You did it right.
Was historically used to describe a soldier who remained standing over the prostrate body of a defeated enemy. This sense of survival in the face of death transitioned into the concept of possessing preternatural powers or being a witness to the divine, which eventually shaded into the realms of prophecy, soothsaying, and sorcery. By the time of the ancient Romans, superstitio had come to signify an unreasoning religious awe, an excessive fear of the gods, or a blind adherence to non-orthodox rituals.
See, there you go. That's a crazy way to say it. A blind adherence to non-orthodox rituals. So orthodox rituals would be like religious rituals. Palm Sunday. You get up early and you go to church and there's palms because Jesus was hit with palms? No, they waved palms at Jesus when he was carrying the cross. Something like that. But anyway, that's an orthodox ritual because it's religious. But non-Orthodox ritual, it's a blind adherence to non-Orthodox ritual, which I don't know if you have anything like that yourself. Like, some people have, it might be going out of style, but I know I've seen it in a few different movies where people have bobbleheads glued to the dash of their car. When they get in their car, before they started, they smack the bobblehead of whatever character it is before they start their car.
I think I've seen something like that in movies before, but not in real life.
Do you have a blind adherence to a non-Orthodox ritual yourself?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that.
When you guys are leaving for the day, and I say, I love you, have a good day. If I don't tell you, there's a part of my brain like, oh man, I didn't tell him today. I need to distract myself because I didn't tell him the thing I feel like I need to tell them every time they go. That's mine. It's one of mine. I'm sure I have others.
I don't know if this is like now. I don't know if it's like the blind adherence or
Yeah.
But I have certain things in my pockets every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have a candy cane in case I want one and to like suck on something throughout the day in case I have a cough. I have 2 pencils in case I lose one or a friend needs one. I have my hand sanitizer. I usually take one of my mini Jesuses with me. Today I took one to Cactus.
Well, now we're skewing into Orthodox.
Well, I'm filling my pockets with stuff every day. I fill it with the same stuff every day.
And if one of those things is missing, part of your brain is now dedicated to the fact that that thing's missing.
Cause I've been forgetting chapstick these past couple days.
No.
I always bring chapstick, and I've been forgetting chapstick.
Well, a lot of those things seem practical. It's a pragmatic thing. Like you have a spare pencil, good. You have a pencil and a spare pencil. Chapstick, it's not necessarily a medical need. It's just
it's winter.
Creature comfort.
It's a dry winter.
Yeah, something like that. So that's kind of an important thing to have
the candy cane, because sickness, dry throats.
Interesting.
Oh, I also carry a hair tie with me every day. I have my 2 bracelets and my hair tie every day.
Very interesting. A lot of that stuff is ritual. Maybe not superstition. It's just this psychological safety net, a psychological comfort that those things are there. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. If I don't have my wallet on me, then I freak out because if I'm driving someplace, obviously my license is in there. Then I can't buy anything either because my way to buy stuff is in my wallet. Every time I walk out the door, I just kind of like slide my hand down to make sure my wallet's there. Yep, I'm good. Here we go.
Like and patting yourself down. Just phone, keys, wallet.
Yep. That line, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch came from the Austin Powers movies. And it works. We'll keep going. As the term moved into the medieval period, its meaning was shaped by Christian theologians, seeking to delineate correct faith from pagan error. Quote, correct, quote, pagan error. St. Augustine, writing in the late 4th and early 5th centuries, characterized superstition as a form of religious excess or gullibility. For Augustine, a superstitious person was someone who was, quote, too religious, lacking the moderation required by orthodox doctrine. By the 8th century, the definition shifted again as Christian thinkers encountered the stubborn persistence of pagan customs and recently converted regions. Here, superstition became the, quote, remnants of earlier beliefs, the practices that were, quote, standing over or surviving into the new Christian era.
The scholastic era brought a more analytical approach, exemplified by St. Thomas.
Nope, there's no P's in that one.
By St. Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century. Aquinas moved away from the idea of, quote, excess and instead defined superstition as, quote, erroneous belief. In this framework, the superstitious person was not necessarily overzealous, but stubbornly committed to things that were factually false or logically inconsistent with the divine order. The word first appeared in English in the early 13th century Mosaic manuscript. Monastic manuscript. Oncran Rioli.
Sure.
Yeah, it's weird. Rioli is spelled R-I-W-L-E.
Thanks. Crazy Latin, whatever. Old English, something.
Latin is so fun. Where it was still largely associated with religious excess. It was not until the late 1300s, specifically in Wycliffe's Bible, that the word began to settle into its modern sense. An irrational faith in supernatural powers or an arrogant, ignorant fear of the unknown.
Which is so weird. I feel like I need to... I don't know how to unpack that yet. An ignorant fear of the unknown. It's not... or an irrational faith in supernatural powers. I don't know what kind of crazy superstitions they had in the 13th century. Besides maybe the latter thing.
Do you think they had ladders in the 13th century?
Yeah, wooden ladders. They had wooden ladders. They lashed pieces of board together with ropes. For sure.
They probably did have the ladder one because, they're flimsy.
I don't think it's because they were flimsy. I think it's because, we'll get into it later, but there's a very specific reason for the ladder thing. But besides that, so I guess that means there were priests walking around like, whatever, dude. I'll just walk under the ladder anyway. You think a mirror is going to give me 7 years bad luck? Come on, get over yourself.
Were you throwing a horseshoe?
No, a mirror.
Oh. I thought you were throwing a horseshoe like a ninja star at a mirror. So what, my horseshoe's upside down? It's not going to do anything to me.
See, that's another one. Upside down horseshoe. On the penny thing. Find a penny on heads, good luck. If you find it on tails, you leave it, or if you pick it up, it's bad luck. What a crazy... Who did this?
Always leave your tails... You always leave alone the tails up pennies. Don't touch them because they're bad. You can pick up all the other tails up coins.
I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Do people, though?
I do. It only applies to pennies.
Does it, though?
Pennies are the only copper ones.
Are they, though?
They're the only visually copper ones. And they have Lincoln on them.
And now the U.S. is not minting anymore. We're past that.
Yes.
They're still going to be in circulation for
a while.
Years to come.
Probably until I'm old and dying. Probably.
I think we're going to start seeing prices go from like whatever 99, like $2.99 or $14.99 or whatever, to the dollar, the full dollar amount.
Or like 50s.
But it is psychological. When you see $14.99, most people are like,
$15.
No, most people don't see $15. Most people see the 14 and like, this is good. A lot of people, only some people will be like, no, that's definitely $15.
That's $15 because we have tax in this country.
But psychologically,
it's probably a bunch of Europeans who are like, $14 is such a good price. That's $15.
people are influenced, man. It's crazy. Marketing is a bananas concept.
That's because we live in America and capitalism.
Yay, capitalism. In contemporary linguistic analysis, some scholars suggest that the modern usage of superstition reflects a semi-conscious awareness that a specific practice is inconsistent with everything else we know about the physical world. This creates a sense of embarrassment among Anglophone speakers that is notably absent in other cultures. For instance, the modern Chinese term mixin, I bet it's pronounced like machine or something, mixin, mixin, I don't know, meaning misleading belief, was borrowed in the early 20th century from Japanese attempts to translate Western theological works. Yet it is used quite openly in book titles regarding popular religious practices.
Anglophone?
Anglophone?
What's that?
European speakers, like non-Asian speakers is what I'm gonna guess that it means.
Like
English speaking.
Oh. Yeah, because Anglo-Saxon is one of the many
Europeans.
Yeah, Europeans. I think that was like one of the many Germanic tribes.
Yeah, Anglo-Saxons.
I think was it tried to invade Byzantium?
Yeah, the Saxons were always trying to do some crazy stuff. You know what the Saxons in here?
Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah, those guys. Saxons.
That's part of our last name.
Saxon?
Yeah, we're Anglo-Saxon and Old Norse roots. That's
Green?
Yeah. Germanic tribe and Old Norse.
There's a lot of greens in the U.S.
I mean, we're probably from, like, would it be Irish?
I'm pretty sure.
Irish immigrant ancestors?
Well, I'm covered in freckles, but I don't really have ginger hair.
We have.
But when it wasn't gray, my beard had some like ginger tints to it.
Yeah, you can still see it on the bits that aren't gray. And our hair usually has like ginger hints.
My dad is covered in freckles. My mom has some freckles.
I have a couple freckles.
So that would lead me to believe the whole Irish thing. My dad's roots are in West Virginia, and they can be traced back generations of greens and bishops, and there's a Native American not too many generations back. My dad's grandfather was full Native American.
That's like
Hilton. Sam Hilton was his name. Hylton.
My grandfather is your dad.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was his dad.
Mm-hmm. His mom's dad was full Native American. Trying to figure all that out. Just like,
would that be 5 generations? Me, you're my dad. He's your dad, and then his dad, and then his dad's dad.
His mom's dad.
Mom's dad. His grandfather.
Yeah. That's 5 generations.
Dang.
Yeah. We're only that far.
That's like not that far.
Right.
Is that why we can...
Blackfoot tribe.
That's why we can tan at all. And we don't just burn.
Probably. Something like that.
Because if we were Irish, we just burn.
Well, that would be the maternal side of my father. So that goes back to Hilton, but then his dad is the green side in the hills of West Virginia. But did you know, I'm sure you knew, that your mother's mom's maiden name is Green.
I did know that.
But they are from here, central Pennsylvania, and she can trace them back generations. So it's an entirely different branch of Greens.
I remember when Grammy told me that story. Or like she told me about...
You're like, does not compute.
I was
related
like,
too hard.
Is this meant to be or something? Are we fulfilling a prophecy?
Come full circle. The Greens branched out, and now they're coming back. Although
my mom's maiden name is French. Truex.
Yeah, Truex. My dad has a set of first cousins that are married with children.
Is their last name Truex?
No. Okay. They are Greens. No, one of them wasn't a Green. I don't know which one is which. But they both have the same grandmother. Yay.
That's fun.
Jeff Foxworthy had a joke about that. You might be a redneck if your family tree does not branch.
It is a racetrack if you're redneck.
All right, we better keep going. We got way too distracted. That's not superstitious.
We got into genetics.
Genealogy.
Yeah. Because I didn't know what Anglophone was.
That's how it started.
How conversations evolve. Anyways, the quest to identify the, quote, oldest superstition requires an examination of the earliest evidence of symbolic, non-utilitarian behavior in the human record. While general ritual behavior is observed throughout the Stone Age, recent breakthroughs have identified a specific ritual practice that has been maintained with a remarkable continuity for 12 millennia. That's 12,000?
Yep.
12,000 years.
And we're only in 2000 of the CE.
Yes.
Common Era.
We go back way far. Down to the dinosaurs. Past dinosaurs.
It blows my mind. There are people walking on the earth that say the earth is only 2,000 years old because it's only the year 2000 and some.
Did you know sharks are older than trees? They used to be just lumps of fungus. Trees,
not sharks.
Yes. Sharks are about like 400 million years.
Crazy. What?
And trees are less than that. Prehistoric facts.
Super facts.
Superstitions.
Here we go.
In 2024, a study published in Nature Human Behavior unveiled archaeological evidence of what is currently considered the oldest culturally transmitted ritual on record. Excavations conducted by Monash University in collaboration with the
Gunakarnai
Land and Waters Aboriginal Corporation, GL capital lowercase a capital WAC.
I think they wanted a fun acronym because GL WAC didn't work. They wanted GLOWAC.
GLOWAC.
So anyway.
Whatever works.
Yeah. So that university, in collaboration with GLOWAC, keep going.
In Clogs Cave, southeastern Australia, unearthed 2 miniature fireplaces. Within these fireplaces were trimmed sticks made of
Causality?
wood, carbon dated to 11,000 and 12,000 years old, respectively.
What distinguishes this find as a superstition or ritual rather than a domestic activity is the specific preparation of the artifacts. The sticks were found to be smeared with lipids from animal or human fat and were only slightly singed at the tips, indicating they were not used as fuel for warmth or cooking. These physical characteristics perfectly align with 19th century ethnographic accounts of the Gunakarnai people documented by anthropologist Alfred Howitt. Howitt described a ritual performed by a mullah malung, a medicine man or a woman, designed to either cure a clan member or cast a spell on an enemy. The practitioner would fasten an item belonging to the target, such as hair or clothing, to a prepared causalrina stick smeared in fat. The stick, known as a morowan, was then placed at an angle in the ground near a small fire. The mullah malung would chant or sing the name of the person until the stick fell over, completing the charm. This discovery provides a staggering record of 500 generations of knowledge transfer, proving that specific ritualized beliefs can persist virtually unchanged from the end of the last ice age into the modern era.
Pretty cool.
Sounds like a OG voodoo doll casting spells. Aboriginal voodoo dolls.
I wonder what it took to make the stick fall over.
Fire. Ooh, so they put it in the fire pit next to the fire, and they would chant at it until the fire knocked it over. Like the fire would come near it, weaken the stick, and it would fall over. That's how I understand it, anyway.
I was thinking burn it slowly until it eventually fell.
And then there goes the spell. Out into the world.
It's like a progress bar.
Spell loading. Loading. Please wait.
35%.
Meanwhile, the mullah malung is hunga 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 hunga.
That's probably pretty accurate. While the Gunakarnai stakes represent the oldest specific ritual linked to modern ethnography, the broader use of red ochre
Yep.
as a symbolic tool extends even further back into human history. Red ochre, a naturally occurring iron oxide pigment, has been favored by humans and their ancestors longer than any other pigment. Archaeological finding at sites like Olorgesailie.
Beautiful.
I don't like that one.
Oh, Lord.
That sounds like someone saying "Oh Lord," but they're in some fantasy game. Oh Lord.
World of Warcraft. Oh, Lord. Siley.
Yeah. Olorgesailie in Kenya have recovered shaped pieces of ochre dating back at least 307,000 years. At Maastricht,
Yep.
Belvedere in the Netherlands, evidence shows that the Neanderthals were collecting and using red ochre as early as 250,000 years ago. While some uses of ochre were likely practical, such as an insect repellent, hide tanning, or a component in compound adhesives, its frequent appearance in burial contexts suggests a deep-seated superstition regarding the color red.
Interesting, right?
Maybe red equals death, because blood is red.
Did they seem like that, though? When did the psychology of red... I mean, maybe. I mean, the whole time people have been
burial?
people. Because red is your blood. And then if there's too much of that, then you're going to die. So maybe that color's been associated with that since literally forever. But it's also associated with anger and passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
I think yellow is passion. Because passion fruit. I always think...
Maybe this is evolving.
Whenever I think passion, I think yellow, because passion, when you pursue a passion, it makes you happy. Yellow is happy, but also passion fruit. Do you get my train of thought?
Maybe Gen Alpha is evolving the color of passion.
Don't categorize me as that. I'm barely that. I'm a January baby.
See, that's how the cross of Gen X and millennials feel. I'm from 1982, which is very, very late Gen X or very early millennial.
My mom acts like a millennial. She's a millennial to me. Sorry, Mom, but not sorry at all. You're a millennial at heart.
Probably.
Not at heart, but definitely millennial.
And Mesolithic. In Mesolithic Sweden, graves discovered near the rivers of Norrbotten show individuals entirely encased in sand and stones saturated with red ochre. Because of its visual similarity to blood, prehistoric humans likely associated red ochre with the essence of life or vitality. The decision to cover a corpse in this material represents an early superstition, the belief that the physical environment of the dead could influence their state in the afterlife or protect the living from the spirit of the departed.
A different category of oldest superstition is found in the first written records of divination. The concept of the, quote, sign, a portent observed in the natural world that indicates a future event, was first formalized in ancient Mesopotamia. During the Old Babylonian period, scribes began compiling omen texts, treating the universe as a complex semantic system designed by the gods to communicate with humanity. These texts followed a rigid, quote, if, then.
If
then structure. For instance, celestial omen series like Enuma Anu Enlil.
Sure.
Enuma Anu Enlil interpreted the movements of planets and stars as warnings from the gods Anu, Enlil, and Ea. This system was embracing terrestrial omens. Shuma Alu. Interpreted everything from the footprints of an animal in a house to the color of the of a sacrificial liver as a message. Liver?
Sacrificial liver, yeah. You know, you could read tea leaves or you could read livers. Divination comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, and organs.
I think I'll stick to the tea leaves.
Very good.
Tarot cards.
And bibliomancy. That's a safe one.
That too. All the ones regarding
that don't involve liver and sacrifices organs and such.
I've heard sacrificial lamb, never liver.
It's very specific.
It is very specific. Crucially, the Mesopotamians did not believe the sign caused the event, but rather that it was a warning that could be diverted through specific rituals known as Namburbi. This represents the earliest intellectualization of superstition, shifting it from a primal fear to a structured logic system that still echoes in modern astrology and the belief in quote lucky and quote unlucky days.
Interesting. So depending on the color of the liver, it'll give you a good or a bad day.
I think a yellow liver is gonna be bad.
You just said yellow is passionate.
Okay, but in the sense of organs should be red.
If you're looking at a liver, that creature is already dead.
Okay, then purple.
That creature already had a bad day.
Well, you caused that. You're the one who took the liver. At least with
Maybe the reader of the liver wasn't the one the harvester of the liver.
At least with sacrificial lambs, the body is in one piece.
Is it though?
Are we eating the sacrificial lambs?
Do they have a club of people that read the different parts of the lamb?
I'll read the top part, so cut that off for me. I got this.
And you have the one weirdo that comes in, I want the appendix.
I want the memory part of the brain. Makes me think of my memories.
And spleen guy starts skipping in. He skips in to get the spleen. I'm here for the spleen. This is fun.
It's just a circle of around. I want the height of the lamb. Or it's crazy. I mean, we're going crazy over here.
You know what the mud vein is?
No.
It's the poop chute.
Oh.
It's the end of the poop chute.
That guy must be really weird then.
He is a strange bird.
Oh, also intestines guy.
Yeah.
Especially small intestines.
There's probably a couple of intestine guys. Intestines get a little stringy.
Aren't your intestines like as tall as you?
It's crazy. If you stretch an intestine out, then it goes for a while.
Yeah.
It's some sort of crazy number that I don't know if there's enough Big Macs for it. America. Where you'll measure in anything but meters.
That makes sense. That's like poetry. America. We measure in everything but meters.
How many Big Macs deep is the Grand Canyon?
I think it's approximately...
There's an answer for that.
8,000 subs long.
How many Big Macs?
There's an actual answer.
Are sold a year. Oh, how many Big Macs deep is the Grand Canyon?
I can't believe that there's an actual answer for this.
18,000 to 22,000 Big Macs deep.
Real people have thought about this and put in answers. They have thought up answers about this.
We want to break it down. Depth of Grand Canyon is about 1 mile deep, which is roughly 5,280 to 6,000 feet. Nope, I think 1 mile is 5,280. Height of a Big Mac is 3 to 3.5 inches. So, to get to a mile with 3 to 3.5, you need to do some maths and
I can't take this seriously.
Why?
I guess there's real people thinking about this.
Yeah.
This is the most American thing I can ever think of.
How many Big Macs tall is the Grand Canyon, Great Wall of China, Empire State Building? What do you want to know?
The Rock.
How many Big Macs tall is the Rock?
Yes.
Which Rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
There he is, 21 to 22 Big Macs tall.
If you're curious on how tall measured in Big Macs, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is 21 to 22.
Now you know.
This is the weirdest topic we've ever gotten lost on.
Humanity has cultivated a diverse array of superstitions that, despite their varied origin, share a common goal: the mitigation of misfortune. Don't do the thing or you're going to have bad luck. The following 10 superstitions represent some of the most culturally significant and geographically widespread examples of this phenomenon. The aversion to the number 13 is perhaps the most visible superstition in modern architecture and commerce, frequently leading to the omission of the 13th floor in hotels or 13th rows in aircraft. While the exact origin is debated, I lost my place in the notes now. It is heavily influenced by Western religious and mythological narratives. One primary source is the New Testament account of the Last Supper, where 13 individuals were present: Jesus and his 12 apostles. Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus, is traditionally identified as the 13th guest. This historical event transformed the number into a symbol of betrayal and death. However, Norse mythology offers an even older precedent. In the legend of the 12 Aesir, a dinner party for the gods in Valhalla was interrupted by the trickster Loki, who arrived as the uninvited 13th guest. His presence led to the death of the god Balder, plunging the world into darkness.
So, don't have a party with 13 guests, or else you're going to have to kick them out and count the next guest as number 14.
Somebody must die.
That's our sacrifice. Weird over here is getting intestines and the...
I want the appendix.
I don't know what I'd call.
Who?
No, what I'd call. Like what?
Oh. I want the appendix because it's small. We don't really use it too much anymore. That we know of. You don't need
I
it.
don't know if I'd take the...
Are you going to be the tonsil person?
No.
You'd be tonsils?
No, I already
Why?
have enough problems with my own. I don't want to know the problems of others.
Collarbone. You know, the bones last longer. A little easier to read bones. You can clean them up.
I'll carve stuff into them.
You don't get squishy.
I will take all of the bones and whittle some of them down to...
The whittle bones?
I will not be whittling the whittle bones because they will not be very...
Is it too little?
They're too fragile. They won't be working anymore.
Oh, and suddenly all the organs can stand up to all the abuse.
Well, no one's thinking like I am. I'm gonna create a little fire pit with my bones, and I'm gonna create a poking stick with your femur.
Superstitious.
What?
Getting distracted again.
You distracted me again. Beyond mythology, the fear of 13 has a mathematical sociological component. In early human counting systems, 12 was considered a perfect number because it was easily divisible by 2, 3, 4, and 6, and corresponded to the lunar cycles and signs of the zodiac. 13, being a prime number that sat just beyond this established order, was perceived as, quote, irregular and, quote, unlucky. Excuse me. In contrast, many Asian cultures consider the number 4 as the primary unlucky digit, as the word 4 sounds identical to the word for death in languages like Cantonese and Mandarin.
Interesting.
If you've ever watched the movie Turning Red, which I don't really recommend. It's really awkward and weird.
The panda one?
Yes.
Okay.
But in the end, spoilers.
3, 2, 1.
Came out years ago. In the end, there's one of the grandmas who has like locked her panda thing in a 4 necklace because 4 Town was the name of the one band. And her mom did not want her going to that 4 Town concert. And she went anyway. And now they're like fans of 4 Town, I'm pretty sure.
It actually meant death. Death Town?
Well, it was... I think the 4 Town people were Canadian and not Chinese Canadian.
Okay. Wasn't expecting Canadian. For that
They
story.
live in Canada.
I don't think I knew that.
They're Chinese Canadian. That family.
What's that about?
Well, that's Canadian. Not Chinese Canadian.
Oh, I don't even know where to begin with
I don't think
French
you should.
Mandarin.
I don't think you should. That might cause some problems.
The superstition that breaking a mirror brings 7 years of bad luck is rooted in the Roman belief in cataptromancy, or divination using mirrors. To the Romans, a mirror did not merely reflect light, it reflected the soul of the observer. When a mirror was broken, it was believed that the soul was fragmented or captured within the shards. The specific duration of 7 years is tied to the Roman medical belief that the human body undergoes a complete physical and spiritual renewal every 7 years. Therefore, if a person's soul was damaged by breaking a mirror, they would be condemned to misfortune until the next 7-year cycle of renewal arrived. A related ritual to mitigate this luck involved burying the broken pieces by moonlight or gathering them and throwing them into a south-running stream. Very interesting. To mitigate the broken mirror. Bury it.
Have you
By
ever
moonlight.
seen those movies where it's like someone's trapped in a mirror and the mirror breaks?
Then what? There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, and they're like trapped there forever.
Was it Oculus? Is that a movie?
I know that happened. I'm pretty sure that happened in the live action Snow White movie.
To the Queen?
Yeah. Or
Mirrors are weird, man.
mirror breaks. I don't know if Queen is stuck in there or she is like loses all her power. Power or powers.
I don't know. Cool.
Spilling salt is traditionally viewed as an omen of impending conflict or betrayal, requiring the ritual of throwing a pinch over the left shoulder. Right hand, left shoulder.
Okay, very specific. You know why?
Not quite.
Keep going.
This superstition combines the economic history with religious and
Iconography.
In the ancient world, salt was a precious commodity, often used as a form of currency, the root of the word salary. I did know that fact.
Oh, good job.
To spill such a valuable substance was a legitimate financial misfortune, leading to the belief that it invited further bad luck. The religious connection is most famously depicted in Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, where Judas Iscariot is shown having accidentally knocked over a salt cellar. Because Judas was the agent of betrayal, the act of spilling salt became inextricably linked to doing something bad. The remedy, throwing salt over the left shoulder, is intended to blind the devil, who is thought to reside just over a person's left shoulder. So, like, angel on your right, devil on your left.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting to tempt them into further sin or misfortune. Also, putting a salt circle protects from demons and like monsters. One of them is, or like any grain of, like a grain, putting a grain of something in you. I got this. Grain foods. You have to put it in a circle, and the monster or a demon or whatever has to count out every single grain before they can pass the circle. They can pass.
Oh, I see. Then you can get away.
Yeah. This is also shown in the Hocus Pocus movies. In the second one, specifically, where she rips open the salt. The main character. She rips open the salt, and she dumps it like in front of her and acts as a force field, but that only works because spoilers again, but it came out like 2+ years ago, so you should have watched it. But anyways, she had turned 16. Oh, it was her 16th birthday that they came back. She lit the light candle. The witches were back, and she had started to gain powers because she was a new witch, and so the salt worked because powers and
distracted her.
what?
It distracted her.
Yeah, and then eventually, in the middle to end of the movie, they put a salt circle around the witches by tricking them to think that water was azalea berry juice, but then eventually the little Roombas cleaned up the salt and they got freed by then.
Nice.
I do like the allusion that they had to the first movie where Winnie takes the broom, Mary has to take the vacuum, and Sarah has to take the mop. But then Winnie takes the decor broom from the Halloween section. Mary takes the 2 Roombas because that's how there was, and Sarah takes the Swiffer.
Hilarious. That's a good, funny thing. Anything else about Hocus Pocus?
No, we could keep going.
All right. The aversion to walking under a ladder has roots in ancient Egyptian and early Christian symbolism. A ladder leaning against a wall forms a triangle, a shape that has been considered sacred across multiple civilizations. In ancient Egypt, the triangle represented the trinity of the gods, and passing through a triangle was seen as a desecration of the divine presence. Christian theologians later adapted this, viewing the triangle formed by a ladder as a representation of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. To walk through the ladder was to, quote, break the Trinity, an act of blasphemy that invited divine punishment. Furthermore, ladders were historically associated with gallows, and prisoners were forced to climb them to their execution, leading to the belief that the spirits of the dead lingered in the space beneath. That's why we don't walk under ladders. Because God will be angry for breaking the Trinity.
Only if you're Christian.
Only if I what?
Only if you're Christian.
Don't talk about Christianity with the Aboriginal tribes in Australia? Is that what you're saying?
No, but not everyone's Christian. So if you're not Christian, then you could believe that the spirits of past 10 people are under the ladder, waiting to take your soul.
Keep going. We've been at this a while.
While ancient Egyptians worshipped cats as representatives of deities, the black cat's reputation suffered a dramatic reversal in medieval Europe. By the 13th century, I've got it known, black cats were increasingly associated with the witchcraft and the devil. In 1233, Pope Gregory Pope Gregory IX issued a papal bull, Vox in Rama, which linked black cats to satanic rituals. This association solidified during the era of witch trials, where black cats were believed to be familiars, supernatural spirits in animal form that assisted witches. Seeing a black cat cross one's path was interpreted as a sign that one's progress was being watched by evil forces, or that the devil was blocking one's way. Despite this, in some cultures, such as those parts of Britain and Japan, a black cat is actually considered a harbinger of good luck.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Are black cats good luck or bad luck? I guess depending on which part of the world you're from.
I don't see them as bad luck. But I don't see them as good luck either.
Okay, they are.
They just neutral. No luck at all. But I do see this next one as good luck.
Okay. Knocking on wood or touching wood in the UK is a universal ritual used to prevent the jinxing of a positive statement. Its origins are found in the pagan belief that spirits and gods resided within the trunks of trees. By knocking on the wood, an individual is believed to be either rousing a protective spirit to ward off bad luck or creating enough noise to distract malicious spirits who might hear a person's boast and seek to undo their good fortune. Christian interpretations later linked the practice to the wood of the crucifix, suggesting that touching wood provided a direct connection to divine protection. A 19th century British children's game called Tiggy Touchwood further popularized the habit as players were, quote, immune from being tagged if they were touching a piece of wood. Home base.
That's what I was thinking of. Like, but Tiggy Touchwood.
What a weird, it's not a tag.
I don't like that name. It sounds like Tickle Me Elmo.
Tiggy Touchwood.
It's a weird name. I don't like it. Glad we just have the name Tag.
Freeze tag?
Well, there's multiple variations of tag. One of them being freeze tag.
And none of them are Tiggy Touchwood.
Thank gosh. In Turkey, India, Korea, and Japan, there is a strong superstition against trimming one's fingernails or toenails after sunset.
All right.
Okay. While modern reasons often focus on hygiene, before electricity, it was difficult to see where sharp clippings fell, potentially leading to infections or contamination of food. The supernatural warnings are much darker. In Japanese folklore, cutting nails at night is said to cause, quote, premature death, or ensure that you will not be present at your parents' passing.
Very specific.
And Japanese people do love their parents. Most people love their parents.
But clipping your nails after dark may cause you to not be present at their passing. Okay.
Okay. Alright. Korean superstition warns that if you discard nail clippings at night, rats will eat them and transform into human-like monsters or doppelgangers that will steal your soul and terrorize your sleep. That one's a bit dark.
That one's out there.
That one's got imagination.
That's why I clip my nails during the day over the tub. That way, when the shower comes on, the nail clippings go down the drain.
Into the sewer where the rats are.
Oh no. Teenage Mutant Rats.
They ate toenail clippings, now they're you, but with 2 eyes.
Hey. The act of whistling is subject to various superstitious restrictions globally. In Turkey and many Arab countries, whistling at night is believed to summon the devil or jinns. In Russia and much of Eastern Europe, whistling indoors is said to lead to financial ruin, effectively whistling your money away. Whistling indoors? You can go outdoors to whistle? In coastal regions of Estonia and Latvia, whistling indoors was historically avoided because it was believed to mimic the sound of a roaring fire, thereby inviting the house to burst into flames. Sailors also historically avoided whistling on ships, fearing it would whistle up a storm and endanger the vessel. Fires don't whistle?
I've heard of don't whistle at night in Australia and just...
Because of emus?
I don't know. But I think... Yeah, I was also thinking Appalachian Mountains, and I was thinking just
don't.
Just
don't do it.
Don't go at night. Don't go, period. Appalachian Mountains are
crazy.
You don't need toenail clippings and rats to find doppelgangers out there.
No, they're just there.
Yeah, they just happen.
All right, keep going.
A particularly specific superstition from Turkey warns that chewing gum after dark is a dangerous act.
Sure.
According to the legend, the gum undergoes a supernatural transformation once the sun sets, turning into the, quote, flesh of the dead. This macabre belief likely served as a social deterrent in traditional households, where loud or repetitive noises during the quiet of the night, were considered disruptive or disrespectful to the spirits of ancestors.
Don't chew gum at night in Turkey, because it might turn into the flesh of the dead.
I don't really chew gum right now.
Cool. Neither do I.
Because I got braces.
Yep. The superstition of the, quote, evil eye is one of the most widespread in human history, found across the Mediterranean, Middle East, and Latin America. It is the belief that an envious look or even excessive praise from a stranger can cause illness or misfortune, especially to vulnerable individuals like infants. To counter this, many cultures use protective talismans. In the Middle East and Greece, the nazar, a blue-eyed shaped bead, is used to reflect the gaze back at the onlooker. In Latin America, infants are often given azabache, jetstone bracelets to ward off mal de ojo. In India, the goddess Alakshmi, the goddess of misfortune, is appeased by hanging a lemon and 7 green chilies at the threshold of homes and shops. Because she likes sour and pungent things, she is satisfied by the offerings and departs without entering.
I've heard of evil eye, and I remember when we were in Baltimore. Was it Baltimore? No, it was Rehoboth that one time. I bought a bracelet, but it broke. It was an evil eye bracelet.
That's why it broke. Because it was inherently evil.
I just don't think that what it was made out of was very strong enough.
Not a very good quality evil eye.
So eventually I had to. But I would like to get another evil eye something. Because
Someday,
with
the
my
evil eye
money.
will return.
To protect me from evil spirits. I don't know why that was in a very white girl tone of me.
Well, you could read this next part in that.
While traditional superstitions often focus on the natural and domestic worlds, the 21st century has birthed a new category of beliefs centered on technology, social media, and the, quote, black box of artificial intelligence.
Here we go.
It's a big problem. Everyone's focused on, well, mostly everyone's focused on AI. Perhaps the most prominent new superstition to emerge between 2023 and 2025 is, quote, lucky girl syndrome, a trend that has garnered billions of views on platforms like TikTok. It is a modernized iteration of the, quote, law of assumption, the belief that by consistently assuming and asserting that you are, quote, lucky, the universe will rearrange itself to fulfill that expectation.
The Secret. There was a book in the late 90s, early 2000s called The Secret. And the secret is all you have to do is just stay positive, no matter what happens.
Optimism.
Yeah, that.
Also gaslighting yourself into thinking you're lucky. I've heard many teachers say, you get to go to school. You don't have to go to school. You get to go to school. Thanks, I already knew that.
Gaslighting yourself. Positive spin on everything. Everything happens for a reason. That whole thing. Practitioners of lucky girl syndrome use specific affirmations such as, quote, I am so lucky, everything works out for me. While it is framed as a tool for mental wellness and confidence, it functions as a digital superstition, a ritualized cognitive habit designed to influence external outcomes. Critics point out that this belief system is a, quote, manifestation dupe that often ignores systemic privilege, as luck tends to favor those already born in favorable socioeconomic conditions. However, its popularity in the mid-2020s is seen as a psychological response to global stressors like recessions and isolation, providing a sense of agency when the physical world feels out of control.
A second major modern superstition is the cluster of beliefs surrounding 5G cellular technology. Emerging alongside the COVID-19 pandemic, this superstition holds that 5G radio waves are either the direct cause of the virus, a mechanism for spreading it, or a tool for mass surveillance and mind control. So, that when you see it's like a monkey see, monkey do. That's what I'm thinking of, the surveillance one.
Okay.
Some sort of, you're gaslighting other people into thinking there's this actual sickness, and then people will start having that mentality that there's a sickness going around, and then eventually get the so-called sickness.
Yeah, it seems like an anti-placebo effect.
Thinking of it.
Hypochondriac.
I think I'm like a conspiracy theorist right now.
You're welcome. Yes.
I can put my mind into one of a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm. Fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Despite exhaustive scientific analysis from the WHO and the International Commission on Ionizing Radiation Protection, stating that 5G poses no significant health hazard, the superstition led to significant real-world violence. In May 2020, over 70 5G-based stations were destroyed in the UK alone due to these fears. This phenomenon highlights a, quote, technological evil eye, the fear that invisible pervasive forces, radio waves, are carrying out malevolent intent against the population.
Ooh. 5G is short-form radio waves. So it doesn't travel as far, but you can get more of them sooner the closer you are. So your Facebook pictures will show up faster, your TikTok videos will show up faster the closer you are to the source of the 5G.
So if you're directly right next to a 5G tower, you don't even have to wait at all for
right
anything.
And I think it's a negligible amount of energy to heat up the thing that the short form radio waves are passing through. So a long wave, it waves and then hits, waves and then hits. But short form, there's more hits at a time. So now you're building up the energy in that one thing. You're building up more electrons, and it can cause it to heat up. I think that's how I understand it in a way. But it's still so negligible that it's not going to just burst into flames. Probably not.
Hopefully.
All right, here we go. In professional environments, humans have developed a suite of, quote, superstitious rituals to deal with the perceived sentient behavior of machines. These are often referred to as the, quote, ghost in the machine. And this one's fun. I have certainly experienced this multiple times in an office environment. The printer sensing fear. A widely held belief in office culture is that printers can detect when a user is stressed or facing an urgent deadline, choosing that exact moment to jam or run out of ink.
I think that's just a bunch of coincidences. Wrong time. No, it's just bad timing.
To you, the outsider who doesn't have a deadline to get the project out the door, how dare you?
But can't you use the excuse the printer ran out of ink as soon as I needed to print it out?
The client doesn't care about your stupid printer. They want their drawing to be sent for permitting as soon as possible.
That's why I'll never work in an office, man. That's why I want to work in a lab and not an office.
We might still deal with this next one, even if you are in a lab.
The IT presence. The common observation that a malfunctioning computer suddenly starts working perfectly as soon as an IT professional enters the room is often treated as a form of, quote, expert magic, where the mere presence of the technician scares the machine into compliance. I've probably witnessed or had some of this happen to me during school with our iPads, where stuff starts being stupid, and as soon as you would tell someone about it, boom, it's fixed. But usually I can fix those things on my
own. See, there you go.
And sometimes when, like, I don't want my phone to, like, start turning off, like, it goes dark screen. And then I will, like, yell at it, don't turn off, and it seems like it works.
Sometimes. AI hallucinations as prophecy. As generative AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude have become ubiquitous, a new superstition has emerged where users treat the, quote, hallucinations or false statements of these models as cryptic prophecies or evidence of a non-corporeal mind, quote, haunting the algorithm. Ooh.
AI. Should we dress up like robots for Halloween? ChatGPT. We should dress up as old AI humans.
Old AI humans?
Yes.
I have no visual of anything you just
said. Gonna have, our hands are gonna be like this.
Oh.
And our faces are gonna be all warped. My hair is gonna be sticking out in different places. Your hair doesn't exist. But you can have a random patch of a wig.
I'll just see spaghetti in a crazy way like Will Smith. Whips around his head.
It's just magical. His face disappears and he's... The cross-disciplinary examination of superstition reveals that these beliefs are not merely, quote, errors in reasoning, but are deeply functional components of human survival. From the alkalinity of the soil in Clogg's cave, preserving 12,000-year-old ritual stakes, to the algorithmic echoes of, quote, lucky girl syndrome, the human mind consistently seeks to impose a narrative of causality on a chaotic world.
Superstition thrives in the, quote, gap of knowledge. As noted by researchers at the MIT Media Lab, when humans know only a little bit about how a complex system works, whether that system is the climate of the Ice Age or the LLMs of 2025, the remaining mysteries are quickly filled with magic and ritual. The etymology of superstition, the standing over of belief, is perhaps its most profound truth. These beliefs stand over the ruins of empires, the shifts in religion, and the advancements of technology because they address a fundamental, unchanging human need: the desire to believe that our actions, however small, can influence the grand machinery of fate.
As we move further into a century defined by AI and hyperconnectivity, we should not expect superstition to disappear. Excuse me. Instead, we should anticipate its evolution. The ritualized gestures of the past, fastening hair to a causalina stick, are being replaced by the ritualized gestures of the future, quote, liking a specific hashtag to manifest wealth, or covering a webcam to ward off a digital evil eye. Covering cameras. Yeah. In the end, superstition is the mirror we hold up to our own anxieties, reflecting a soul that, even after 12,000 years, is still afraid of the dark and still hopeful for a bit of luck.
There you go. So, are you any more stitious than you were when we started this?
I don't think so.
Superstitious? A little stitious.
Medium
Less,
stitious.
less stitious.
Mid stitious.
Just a little stitious.
A bit.
I'm still not going to walk over storm drain grates, avoid puddles if I can.
Superstitious of puddles. You didn't talk about that.
Sometimes they're deeper than you expect them to be.
Well, throw a rock at and see how deep it is.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Throw a rock at it and splash mud all over me, yeah. Or
it's just a little pebble.
Avoid it altogether and go about my merry business.
What if you can't avoid it and you have to do like a backflip if you're going to get over it?
Then we're going to have a problem because I can't backflip.
You can't do a Benjamin backflip?
Are you superstitious?
I'm the same stitious as I was.
But you're still not going to go smashing mirrors. Still not going to walk under ladders.
That's just a dumb decision.
What if you accidentally smash a mirror? Or accidentally break a mirror?
That's accidental, not on purpose.
So, are you going to fear that your soul has now been split into multiple parts and go bury said mirror parts beneath the moonlight?
Do you want me out in the moonlight burying said broken mirror parts?
If you asked me to help you bury your body, it would take me a minute to say yes.
We're not talking about bodies. We're talking about broken mirrors.
I'll help you. Ward off the demons that are coming until your mirror is completely buried.
We'll put a salt circle around me. And I'll throw a salt over my left shoulder.
You're practicing a lot of superstition. Anti-superstition to keep the fortune balanced.
I mean, if you want me to have bad luck.
I'm not telling you to have bad luck, but you already know a bunch of ways to balance the luck. Keep the bad away.
Yeah, because...
So maybe you are more stitious than you think.
That's why I'm saying I'm medium stitious. I'm not superstitious. Like, I don't mind if black cats walk in front of me. There's not many ladders I walk under, ever.
There's just no opportunity for that.
I just don't walk under ladders. There's none for me to walk under. What were others? I do knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one time that me and a friend said something at the same time, and we were like, it was recent on our most recent field trip, and I had to knock on wood, so I knocked on her head. It was really funny.
Big wooden head. Some people
like
have
Pinocchio.
This. I think our boy dog has a wooden head. You knock on his head. I think it's hollow.
More than just head. Just there's a tiny little block of wood in his mind.
There's no homunculus running that show.
No.
They got lost.
He got lost in the forest of his mind.
Anyway, that was a superstitious episode, and maybe we'll go a little deeper for some of those superstitions that we did talk about. Do you know anything about that lucky girl syndrome thing?
No, I've never. I've heard of like optimism and like thinking on the bright side, looking on the bright side. I look on the bright side. I can find the positive places in most people, but like I don't think I have lucky girl syndrome.
Now they're going to be in your suggested TikTok videos.
Devices are listening.
Yep.
There was one time that
Is that
It
a
was-
superstition?
It probably is.
I don't
But-
think it is. I think it's a legit conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. I think it is happening.
Probably.
Anyway,
But anyways, there was this one time, like a couple years ago, when I think it was my first time going to Panera, and like I think right after I was on YouTube on our old iPad, and I had gotten a Panera ad, and I never gotten a Panera ad before. It was right after my first time going to Panera.
congratulations. You're opening your third eye. You're beginning to believe.
I've been believing.
Question brought.
Question answered.